Hello, everybody. Mike from Southern California again, and you're on the mic. So, on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about ADV films. Now, albeit ADV films is no longer in existence as ADV films, um, it goes to the history of the Houston area of the dubbing community. ADV, of course, was the predecessor to what is now Sentai Filmworks. Many of the staff and ownership from ADV are with Sentai now. So it's important, in order to understand things, you have to understand the history behind it as well. And so that's why I'm gonna feature ADV today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna follow up with Sentai Filmworks and Seraphim Digital Sound. So, with that being said, let's get going here. So, a couple of quick little point. Okay, so here we go. ADV Vision, commonly referred to as ADV Films, was an American international multimedia entertainment company headquartered in Houston, Texas prior to its collapse and distress sale to four other Houston based companies in 2009. The abbreviation AD stands for Animation Dubbing. It was the largest anime distributor in North America and the United Kingdom before its demise. So it was actually pretty big in terms of the distribution aspect of it prior to it closing. It was founded in 1992 by John Ledford and Matt Greenfield. Since then, the company had grown immensely in size and diversified with several subsidiary companies, handling an array of properties and original content. Their most popular property was possibly Gainax's post-apocalyptic anime series Neon Genesis Evangelion, which of course now is in the hands of Funimation, but originally it was with ADV. Originally released by ADV in the US in 1996, the re-release and re-released several times since then. On September 1st, 2009, ADV announced it was selling off its assets, including intellectual properties, to several companies. So when I go into like what properties they did later, I'm gonna for because many of the company, Funimation grabbed a number of the titles. Sentai Filmworks, of course, maintained a number of those titles. But anyways, let's look a little further at the history here. Headquartered in Houston, Texas, ADV Films was formed in 1992 by John Ledford, Matt Greenfield, and David Williams. David Williams, of course, well, Matt Greenfield did a number of, he did direct some scenes, and David Williams was also part of the production staff. John Ledford, a man who started a Japanese video game and video console import business in 1990, received an introduction to anime from one of his friends. The friend introduced My Neighbor Totoro to Ledford. Um, Toho, okay, Toho, um, reluctantly licensed Devil Hunter Yoko to ADV, making the title ADV's first, even though Shozo Watanabe, the general manager of the Los Angeles office of Toho, expressed concern that ADV would not be able to handle the distribution of the film. I guess Toho is the Japanese company that was responsible for producing my neighbor Totoro, the film. Um, Toho was unable to find another distributor, so it selected ADV. Oh, that's kind of lucky, huh? ADV, a startup company like this, getting a movie right off the bat. Um, oh, actually, no, it wasn't the movie. It was Devil Hunter Yoko. Um, I Hunter Totoro to Ledford. Toho. Okay, yeah. So we just read all that. Okay, the company spent the next 17 years in the fields of home video production and distribution and broadcast television, theatrical film distribution, merchandising, original productions, magazine, comic book publishing. In 2002, most of ADV Films' back catalog were used to program its new channel, Anime Network. So prior to 2002, most of the stuff what they were doing was they were dubbing it and then just releasing it, direct to DVD or direct to compact disc or whatever the medium was back then. Obviously, I think it was DVD. I don't know if DVDs were started up at that point, but basically, they were distributed. 2002, they started up Anime Network, which is still business today. Just Anime Network is now, of course, run by Sentai, I believe, Sentai Filmworks. Um, so for over 15 years, ADV has released successful anime series such as Neon Genesis Evangelion, Robotech, Razafon, Full Metal Panic, um, Azumanga Daioh, Elfen Lied, Gantz, Red Garden, and Le Chevalier d'Eon. And I'll tell you something, I've seen a lot of these animes, and they are good animes. You know, the the company maintained offices in North America, Europe, and Asia. In addition to North America, ADV Films distributed their home media releases in the United Kingdom, Italy, and Germany. The company's fortunes declined in the mid 2000s due to low sales. With ADV's fire sale of its assets in 2009, they were spun off into 5 different companies: Section 23 Films, Sentai Filmworks, um, Asia Holdings, Valkyrie Media Partners, and Seraphim Digital. Of course, Sentai Filmworks is the distribution arm of the company. Seraphim Digital is the dubbing studio for the basically. So when I do talk about it tomorrow, I'll talk a lot about the idea of how. Okay, so Sentai Filmworks is the distribution. They're the ones who license the properties, and then Seraphim Digital is the dubbing studio for the Houston area, basically. Just as Funimation utilizes Okatron 5000. Seraphim Digital Sounds is the dubbing studio for Sentai Filmworks, and just as Viz Media subcontracts to Studiopolis out here in LA, um, Sentai Filmworks, of course, subcontract to Seraphim Digital Sounds in Houston. So, which of course became subsidiaries of Asia Media. Ledford, Greenfield, and Williams continue to work for these companies as mentors and creative consultants, and most of ADV's back catalog were re-licensed by Section 23, Sentai, Made in Japan, Media Blasters, Nozomi Entertainment, Discotek Media, Viz Media, Ponycan USA, Aniplex of America, and Funimation. Valkyrie Media Partners has ownership of Anime Network. So Anime Network, not to be confused with Anime News Network. Anime Network is where many of the former ADV properties that are now with now with Section 23, Sentai, some of these others are broadcast on its own channel, basically. And many, and let's see, I know for a fact because I have Comcast. They have Anime Network as an on-demand channel that you can go and watch their products on there. So you guys should check that. If you guys have Comcast or if you have any cable company that has Anime Network on its on-demand service, you should check it out. They got some good stuff. Um, and the channel continues to run as it did before ADV's fall. In 2013, Sentai Filmworks revived the ADV film's name to re-release Elfen Lied on Blu-ray. That's the gist of the history of ADV films. Um, the talent pool is pretty much the same. I'll talk probably a bit more about the talent pool tomorrow, but basically the talent pool for ADV films is pretty much the same as it was the same as it is now, with a few exceptions with basically Seraphim Digital Sounds, Sentai Filmworks. Basically, among some of the more famous names who started out with ADV, of course, Vic started out with ADV. Vic Mignogna started out with ADV. Monica Rial as well. Lucy Christian, the Ayers brothers, Christopher and Greg Ayers, Chris Patton. Um, those were John Swayze, John Gramillion, Rob Mungle. Many of those guys started out with ADV. I'll go into a little bit more detail tomorrow when I talk about Sentai and Seraphim, in terms of who originally from there, and also who's still there. But basically, many of the Houston voice. So basically, just think in terms of ADV, many of the same talent that were involved with ADV in terms of the talent pool for the voice acting are still involved with Sentai Filmworks and Seraphim Digital Sound. See how, yeah. So with that being said, let's kind of move on. So now in yesterday's episode, I went and I tried, because I know with Blue Water, most people don't know their works as well. So I did go into like at least giving you at least the genres. Hopefully, you'll have heard of more of ADVs. I'm just because there's so many titles here with ADV that they had licensed. I'm just going to go ahead and go through the. I'm just simply going to go through the titles and what year they were dubbed and released, and hopefully you all will have heard of them and will think about, if you haven't seen them already, you will consider going out and watching the dubs. So here we go. So some of the, of course, the first series that they dubbed back in 1993 with Devil Hunter Yoko. Let me at least see because I six. So I think that was okay. Devil Hunter Yoko was an OVA that the dub release was July 30th, 1996. So hmm. The sub release was 1993. The dub release was 1996. So okay. I guess I may have to because okay, and then they also released in 1993. Another they released in the sub. So they probably released some of these first as sub releases. The sub-release or subtitled release was May 1st, 1990 for Sol Blanca, another OVA. The dub release was December 9th, 1997. So they probably started doing the dubs a little bit later than the subs. So those were from 1993. Then in 1994, we have Burn Up, the OVA Burn Up, which sub it was released subtitled January 1st, 1994. Dub release was October 2nd, 1995. Um, let's see. Then so the series that were they released in 1994, they most likely were all sub release. Dragon Knight, New Cutie Honey, and Plastic Little. So for Dragon Knight OVA, the sub release was 1994. August 11th, 1998 was the dub release. Um, so Burn Up, Dragon Knight, New Cutie Honey, Plastic Little for 1994. Then in 1995 was when they released when they re- so these are the series that they released in 1995. 801 TTS Airbats, All-Purpose Cultural Cat Girl Nuku Nuku. That one's a pretty fun one to watch. I've seen that one before. That one's a pretty fun one to watch. Blood Rain Curse of the Yoma, Dragon Half, Keko Kamen, which was, I think, the first title released under the ADV Studios studio. In all capital letters, Maps, Mighty Space Miners, Princess Minerva, and Samurai Showdown. Then in 1996, they released Battle Angel, Blue Seed, Burn Up W, and I've seen Blue Seed. It's pretty interesting too. Another horror one I could probably recommend for some of you out there who are into horror stuff. Dark Warrior, Alicia, Galaxy Fraulein, Yuna, Golden Boy. That one was a pretty fun one to watch. For those of you who are into kind of slice of life, possible harem anime, that's one you might want to check out. Gunsmith Cats, um, Miyuki-chan in Wonderland. 1996 is also the year they originally released Neon Genesis Evangelion. Of course, that was on Toonami. That was the dub that Amanda Winley was. But aside from, of course, Amanda Winley, Spike Spencer, who played Shinji on there, both of them moved out to L.A. They're no longer active in the Houston scene, but they're somewhat active in the LA scene. And then also Tiffany Grant was Asuka in that, and who is still active with Sentai and Seraphim Digital Sounds, as well as Allison Keith, who was the major Motoko, or the major in that series. Okay, so also in 1996, of course, um, Shuten Doji, um, Shui Kode Demon Century, Sukeban Deka, and Super Aragon. Okay, so let me see if they had these are probably OVAs. Again, now the year here, I think for the most part, for most of them, was basically the sub release. Some of them may have been some of them sub and dub were basically the same, but for the most part for these, and I'm just looking through to see if some of the last four here that I mentioned, if they had possible Um, English. Oh wait, Super Atragon actually was the name of that OVA. So, so yeah. So now, as we get into 1996, of course, I think that's when the I was saying the 1996. It looks like it's about when they were starting to bring the subtitle release and the dub release kind of closer together. They weren't like super far apart. So as we get into 1997, then they released in 1997 Debutante Detective Corps, Gamera Guardian of the Universe, um, Ixelion, I believe is Rail of the Star, Sonic Soldier Borgman, The Last Battle, Ushio, and Tora. As I said, I'm hoping that, again, I know I ran pretty long yesterday. So, in order to try to trim this down, especially considering that ADV had a lot more titles than Blue Water does, I I am just I'm basically just giving you the title, and hopefully you guys have at least heard some of these titles and will want to check them out. So yeah, those are all from 1997. I just said again, Debutante Detective Corps, Gamera Guardian of the Universe, Ixelion, um, Rail of the Star, Sonic Soldier Borgman, The Last Battle, and um, Ushio and Tora. Okay, as we get into 1998, um, we have 801 TTS Airbats 2, the sequel to the first 801 TTS Airbats that was released earlier. And then we also have the 801 TTS Airbat Special that was released in 1998, as well as Black Lion, City Hunter, Dirty Pair Flash Mission 2, Dirty Pair Flash Mission 3. So much of the Dirty Pair Flash series was released by ADV in 1998. Legend of Crystania, Legend of Crystania Chaos Ring, My Dear Marie, New Kumagure Orange Road, Summer's Beginning, um, Panzer Dragon, Ruin Explorers. Um, Actually, it looks like they released Slayers. I think these were actually the films. I think, as I do recall, ADV actually. Okay, yeah, Slayers. So these were the OVAs. They actually licensed and released the Slayers OVAs, I believe. Here, these are the OVAs. Okay, Slayers OVA and the Slayers movie were actually licensed and released by ADV. And then Sonic, Soldier, Borgman, Lovers, Rain. So as we come to 1999, and again, at this point in the mid to late 90s, ADV was releasing a lot. They were they're showing it here where they were the biggest distributor. They may not have had as much of a TV presence, but they were definitely the biggest distributor at this point. Um, the Adventures of Kotetsu. So in 1999, so they released The Adventures of Kotetsu, Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040, City Hunter 357 Magnum, Compiler 2, Galaxy Fraulein Yuna Returns, Martian Successor Nadesico. I've seen that one. Again, ADV had a lot of good work that they got hold of. Master of Mosquiton, Original Dirty Pair, Queen Emeraldis, um, Sakura Wars, Sorcerer Hunters, and Those Who Hunt Elves. Then, as we get into 2000 here, okay, so they released Arc the Lad for Bang Zoom Entertainment. Arc the Lad was actually dubbed by Bang Zoom Entertainment, but ADV actually handled the distribution of it. Then also in 2000, City Hunter Secret Service, Gasaraki, Generator, unless otherwise stated, most of these titles were dubbed by ADV. So unless I tell you otherwise, Lost Universe, Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water, which that one's a very good one as well. You guys should check that one out. That was a very good anime. Sakura Diaries, and Samurai X Trust and Betrayal. Samurai X series was another variation of Rurouni Kenshin. In this case, the Samurai X OVAs were actually dubbed by ADV, while Rurouni Kenshin, of course, was dubbed out in LA, I think, for Geneon or Pioneer. Sin. Then, as we get into 2001, they released AD Police, Getter Robo Armageddon. They said here, according to this, Nadia's secret, the secret of the blue water. Okay, so let me see. So let's see the TV series for Nadia. Okay. Okay. So let me see here. I'm just checking something here because I just noticed. So maybe that's why they dubbed. Let's see, that in 2000, and then oh, I see. So they released the TV series in 2000, and in 2001 they released the movie Nadia: The Secret of Blue Water. Okay, that explains that. Also, Orphan, um, 2001, Princess Nine. Orphan is a good fantasy adventure anime. Princess Nine, Samurai X, Soul Hunter, and Spriggan. Then, as we get into 2002, they released more. Let's see, Burn Up Excess, um, Chance Pop Session, an idol, kind of an idle one that was pretty fun to watch. Die Guard, a mecha anime. Excel Saga. I'm sure many of you heard of Excel Saga. That was the one where initially Jessica Calvello was initially cast to portray Excel. She ended up throwing out her voice and was replaced with Larissa Rollcott for the rest of the series. That was Excel Saga. ADV did that dub. Sakura Wars 2, Sorcerer on the Rock, Steel Angel Kurumi, Zone of the Enders, Dolores I, Zone of the Enders, Idolo. So the Zone of the Enders here. We get into 2003. That's when they released all-purpose cultural cat girl Nuku Nuku Dash, kind of a follow-up to all-purpose cultural cat girl Nuku Nuku. Angelic Lair, Aura, Aura Battler Dumbine, which ADV did 20 years after its original release in Japan. Because I remember that was originally done in '83. Blue Seed Beyond, Colorful, Crying Freeman, The Russian Connection, The Devil Lady, Eden's Bowery, um, Final Fantasy Unlimited, Full Metal Panic. Great series. The whole Full Metal Panic, Fumofu, Full Metal Panic, Second Raid. ADV, of course, did Full Metal Panic and Full Metal Panic Fumofu. I'll talk a little bit more about Fumofu when I get to it. But Full Metal Panic, great mecha series. I highly recommend it for anybody who's the mechas, who's into some kind of the more outlandish comedy of somebody who's oblivious, seeing through all that. So then following that, Gamera Attack of Legion, Gamera Revenge of Iris, Genesis Climber, Muspedia, um, King of Bandit Jing, or Jing, or Jing, King of the Bandits, Legend of the Mystical Ninja. That was actually one Vic was involved in. Vic Mignogna was involved in which he was the lead character, Gaimon, on that. So if you haven't seen that one, I highly recommend that one too, especially if you're a Vic fan, because that was one where he was actually the lead character, Gaimon, the mystical ninja. Magical Shopping Arcade, Benobashi, Martian successor Nadeshiko, Prince of Darkness, which I believe was a movie follow up to the TV series. Mazin Kaiser, Najiga Blitz Tactics, Neoranga, Noir. Noir is another good one I highly recommend you guys watch. Kind of a darker one about assassins, secret society. Um, Noir, Madlax, and El Cazador de la Bruja. They're a thematic um, trilogy that I think you guys should check out. But Noir, I mean, is fascinating. Um, if you like watching how people come up with creative ways to kill people, that's one of the ways I would. That's one of the animes I would highly recommend. Original Dirty Pair, Affair of Nolandia. Original Dirty Pair, Flight 005 Conspiracy. Original Dirty Pair, Project Eden. Orphan Revenge, the sequel to Orphan. Pre-tier, Pretty Soldier. So ADV, I think, may have released. Okay, I think ADV just. Let's see. They released a sub-release version of. They did like a lot of the post-production, the subtitle release of Sailor Moon. Um, of course, it was at the time. At this time, I think it was Deke and Cloveway were still the ones who had done the dubs for Sailor Moon. But Pretty Soldier, Sailor Moon, Pretty Soldier, Sailor Moon R, where the subtitles were released via ADV. So if you like the subtitled version of those, ADV was the one responsible for those. And so as we move, the Princess Blade, Rosaphon, Rune Soldier, Saint Seiya. This was ADV's dub of Saint Seiya. Some of you might also remember the Knights of the Zodiac a dub that was done by a Canadian company. But this Saint Seiya, ADV had dubbed a portion of the series. It wasn't complete. Let me see. Let me just be reminded here. Um, yeah, they dubbed 60 of the episodes and released it in 2003. Um, let's see. Also, the first season of Sayuki um, was dubbed by Sakura Wars again. This might be the movie again. This is a TV series. think the Sakura Wars that was released earlier was probably a movie version, I believe. Oh, Sakura Wars 2. Oh, so the first two Sakura Wars I was talking about were the OVAs, and then this is in 2003 they released the TV series version. Samurai X Reflection. Again, the Samurai X part of the Rurouni Kenshin series was all done by ADV. See, the Samurai Slayer's Return, which I think was a OVA as a Slayer series. Basically all the OVA and movie stuff of Slayers was dubbed and released by ADV. So just in summation there. Spectral Force, Steam Detectives, Steel Angel Kurumi 2, Steel Angel Kurumi Encore, Super Gals, Those Young Elves 2, Ushio and Tora. Again, I guess, let's see. This is the OVA. I guess the TV series was the earlier one. This is the OVA. And then also Ushio and Tora, Comically Deformed Theater, Voices of a Distant Star, Wild Arms. Wild Arms, they released it for Bang Zoom. Again, Wild Arms is another re- um, release by ADV that actually was dubbed by Bang Zoom. Bang Zoom actually dubbed Wild Arms, but ADV handled the distribution, the post production work. You're Under Arrest, and then Xenon, I Wish You Were Here. So you said You're Under Arrest here is that was the movie for You're Under Arrest. Oh yeah, okay. So ADV did the distribution here for You're Under Arrest, the movie. Um, the ADR production, the dubbing, was actually done by Coastal Studios, which is based in North Carolina. So just to kind of give you a heads up there. So some of the stuff that they released, of course, was actually done by as I said, done by other studios. In this case, You're Under Arrest was done by Coastal Studios, which is based in North Carolina. They have their own pocket of stuff too. Um, so stuff you could probably check out. In 2004, ADV released 2009 Lost Memories, 3D Magical Play, and then they released All Purpose Cultural Catgirl Nuku Nuku, um, the TV show. So the first one may have been an OVA as well. Um, Aquarian Age. They released two things. So yeah, the TV series. So they released both for Azumanga. They released the Azumanga Daioh the movie and Azumanga Daioh the TV series in 2004. Bathtub Syndrome, which was originally Korean production. Birth. Chrono Crusade, another great anime. That's another one where Tiffany Grant is doing a German character. Um, let's see. Conduct Zero, Cosplay Complex, Cyber Team, and Aki Habara. DN Angel. DN Angel is another one that Vic had a lead in. Vic was Dark Mousy and DN Angel. If you guys want to catch him in another lead, DN Angel, if you've never seen DN Angel, I recommend it, especially if you're a Vic fan. Um, Vic McNania fan. Um, He's Dark Mousy and DN Angel. Get Backers, Gravion, Girl Power, Gun Crazy, A Woman from Nowhere. Okay, Gun Crazy, A Woman from Nowhere, which, that's a live action dub apparently. Um, they did do some live action stuff. Okay, so Gun Crazy, Beyond the Law, did do some live action dubbing as well. Happy Lesson, both the TV series and the OVA. Happy Lessons. Happy Lessons, an interesting one. I remember that one. That was a cute one. So in Happy Lesson, you had this high school. I guess he was a high school student who was living alone, and basically five of his teachers all became worried about him. So they decided to move in with him. Having four of your high school teachers, your female high school teachers, were all very attractive women, by the way. So this is obviously a harem anime. Imagine that. That's cute. That's cute. I highly recommend Happy Lesson. Definitely a happy lesson. Um, Kaleido Star, Chemo's Journey, Lake Texarkana Gamera, Magical Play, Megazone 23 parts 1, 2, and 3. I believe those were OVAs. Mezzo. They released the Neon Genesis director's cut in 2004. Probably during the height of its run on Toonami. The new Fist of the North Star series. Nurse Witch Komugi. Parasite Dolls Peacemaker. Also known as Peacemaker Kurogane. Vic was again a major character in that. He was Tatsunosuke Ichimura, who was, at least in this canon, was the brother of Tetsunosuke Ichimura, who was a real historical figure. Was the page for who was Hijikata's page. Petite Princess Yuchi is a cute anime. Puni Poemi, Rosifon, Plural Lidas Consentio, Shinobi, Sister Princess, another cute one, another kind of a really expanded harem anime about a guy who, who comes to find out that he has 12 sisters. Basically turns into a very interesting, huge harem anime. Um, Kind of a fun one to watch. Of course, some more Slayer. Slayer's excellent. Slayer's gorgeous. Slayer's great. Slayer's premium, which I think were all like um, all OVAs or movies. Okay, also Wedding Peach and Yesterday. Those are all the titles that ADV released in 2004. Coming to 2005, the titles that they released include Area 88, um, Cromartie High School, Dark Water. Now, Dark Water was a live action series. The horror film that is actually um, pretty popular. Divergence Eve, Ease Otherwise, Elfin Lead, which, from what I understand, what I read earlier, they were planning on Sentai was planning on re-releasing that. Okay, let's see, 5-star stories. The Fukons was another live action series that they dubbed. Basically, the Fukons is kind of a comedy series. Follow the lives of mannequins, believe it or not. Their mouths didn't move, but basically they used mannequins. It's an interesting not anime, but live action series. Full Metal Panic Fumofu they released in 2005. Vic was Kurz Weber in this, another blonde character. Um, I highly recommend Fumofu. Full Metal Panic Fumofu. My personal opinion, one of the probably the funniest anime of all time. Kind of the oblivious, over the top humor when a character he just is just insane. It's his response to everyday scenarios. It has got some pretty funny stuff. I if you've never seen if you've never seen the dub of Full Metal Panic Fumofu, I highly recommend it. Highly. Really funny stuff. As we move on, Gantz. They also released Gatchaman in 2005. Okay, so a little bit more history on Gatchaman. Gatchaman. Now so there are some of you out there who will probably remember Gatchaman either as Battle of the Planets or G-Force. Gatchaman's actually been dubbed a few times over the years. So I'm going to give you a quick little history lesson here. Gatchaman was, okay, the full name of it is Science Ninja Team Gatchaman. It was originally produced in Japan back in 1972. In 1978, I don't remember the company's name, but it was dubbed as Battle of the Planets with like Casey Kasem among others doing the voices. Then it was dubbed again in the late 80s as G-Force. In 2005, now what had happened is that in the Battle of Planets version, they had basically they'd edited out to make it more of a kid-friendly anime. Well, when ADV got the license for it, they redubbed it and they put all the more sensitive material back in. So the ADV dub is actually the more correct dub in terms of the content. Pretty good dub. So so let's see. So with that, so just to get Ghost Stories was dubbed in that as well. Vic was actually in that, but Vic's name was not in it. He was credited, I guess, because I think Ghost Stories was a non-union project, but Vic was actually credited as Frosty Lip or something Frosty Lips, I think, as I recall, in Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is a pretty funny one. It was kind of, in some respects, dub wise, it was classified as kind of a throwaway anime. It was a union had a right to work. Um, yeah, so Vic did have a part in that, but he was credited as something Frosty Lips. Um, anyways, moving on. Then there's also also released into the five by ADV Gilgamesh, kind of a darker anime. Go Down, another mecha anime. Guns and Talks. Hakuge, Legend of Moby Dick. Hello Kitty's Animation Theater. Jailbreakers. Jungle Juice. Maburaho. Madlax, another kind of Girls with Guns. That's what it was. Girls with Guns trilogy. Noir, Madlax, and El Cazador de la Bruja, which was actually dubbed by Funimation, but they were all done originally in Japan by I think it was Brains Base or B Train. B Train was the Girls with Gun thematic trilogy that you guys might want to check out. But they did two of the dubs, Noir and Madlax. Marrying the Mafia, Moyo Ken, My Beautiful Girl Mari, Mythical Detective Loki Ragnarok, No Blood, No Tears, Place Promised in Our Early Days, Princess Tutu, Public Enemy, Sayuki Requiem, another part of the Sayuki series that was dubbed and released by ADV. Samurai Gun, um, A Tree of Palm, Wedding Peach DX, which I think was an OVA, and Yugo Negotiator. Then in 2006, okay, another Area 80. Which Area 88 was this? Oh, this was so the OVA Area 88 was and then Area 88 Burning Mirage were both released in 2006, along with Comic Party Revolution, which was a follow up to Comic Party, but Comic Party was dubbed in New York, I believe, by Central Park Media. So Comic Party Revolution, though, was dubbed by ADV. That was a pretty fun one to watch too. I recommend that one. Diamond Daydreams. Now, Diamond Daydreams was one that ADV did, in which a couple of Funimation voice actors came over and got roles in it. Mike McFarland and Colleen Klinkenbeard. So you guys might want to check that out. Guyver, ADV. Jinky Extend, which was a mecha anime. Kaleido Star New Wings, which I think was the second season. The New Wings Extra Stage might be an OVA. Maycross. Maycross is basically the Japanese name for Robotech, but ADV did their, you know, there was the Harmony Gold dub that was named Robotech, and then Maycross was the ADV dub. Michelle, which is another Korean anime that was brought over to Japan. Um, Misaki Chronicles, which is the follow up to Divergence Eve. Nanaka 617, another funny anime. Naruma Daikon Brothers. Honey Pony Dash. Papua. Princess Tutu. Princess Tutu. I don't know if this is the OVA. Sometimes if there are, this is a Princess Tutu special. Sometimes if I repeat titles, it probably means that one was a TV series, one was the OVA. As I said, I'm just reading through the titles here, try to save time. This ugly yet beautiful world, the UFO Ultra Maiden Valkyrie series. I know there's a number of. I'll probably say that one again too, because there was. This might be like season one or or something. Vermilion Pleasure Night, I think was a live action series. 009-1, All My Goddess, Flights of Fancy. Okay, so this one was, I think, was released by this. All My Goddess, Flights of Fancy, I think, was released by ADV. They did but the ADR production, the dubbing was done by NYAV Post. So NYAV Post did the dubbing for All My Goddess, Flights of Fancy. That's a pretty fun anime. The All My Goddess series was dubbed by different companies. Flights of Fancy was dubbed by NYV Post, but the distribution, the post production, all that was done um, by ADV. And then the Air series, all three, Air the TV series was done by Amusement Park. Let's see, Amusement Park Media. Okay, so yes, the Air series. Vic. This is another one where Vic was the lead character in as Yukito Kumisaki. So Air, I've seen the Air TV series. It was fun. One that was released in 2007. It's another one you guys should check out. And they had, I think, the movie was released as well. They had a TV series, a movie, and a OVA special as well. So and Vic was the lead in that. Air Gear. Air Gear is a pretty fun one too. It's a one about rollerblading basically, or um, good music too. Back on's opening theme change is a kick-ass opening. Um, you guys might want to check out. Best Student Council, Blade of the Phantom Master, Coyote Ragtime Show, Ghost Train, Innocent Venus, um, Jing, King of Bandits, Seventh Heaven, Corral, Phantom Mystery, Le Chevalier d'Eon, um, Moyo Ken. Again, I don't know if that could be. Let's see, that's a TV series. So the Moyo Ken from earlier might have been an OVA series. Pumpkin Scissors, Red Garden. Red Garden's a pretty dark one too. Um, Synesthesia. Um, yeah, Synesthesia. Um, Utawaru Mono. That one was a good one too. Good fantasy adventure anime. Um, Welcome to the NHK and Xenosaga. 2008. This is a 2008 was the last of their releases. The 2006 original release of Kanon and Shattered Angels. So those are all the titles that ADV had been involved with. And pretty much the history. Again, I will go through more of the talent pool of it because basically the talent pool that was used by ADV is now, of course, now being used by Sentai Filmworks. So it's basically a lot of the same voice actors and actresses. I'll go through, some of the, I'll go through those tomorrow as well. Kind of mentioned some of them already. Um, I'll go through more of them tomorrow. Um, I hope you guys will check some of these titles out. If you guys have questions, more specific questions if there's a specific title that you want to know more about, go ahead and comment in the comment section of the video, and I'll be glad to maybe try to explain the plot a little bit more, read up on the plot, and explain a little bit more. If you guys have any more questions on the titles themselves, again, with as many titles as there were, that's why I didn't go through all of them like plot like I did yesterday with Blue Water. There's just so many. So, but I hope you guys will decide to check these out. And many of these properties are still other companies did pick them up. The dubs are still intact. There's only a handful of them where the dubs were redone. Like I know Neon Genesis, the only I know Funimation is doing I guess redoing the dub for that, but which is disappointing. But Sentai and Section 23 Films, which are both still based in Houston, have picked up the titles of these and kept them. So if you guys want to check out these titles or have any questions on them, go ahead and comment in the in the and comment on the video about them. If you guys have questions, I'll answer them as best I can. Get more of the information to see if you guys want to check those out. And as always, guys, if and I'll say this too, if as I mentioned, some of the voice actors and actresses, if the ones that you listen to their work and you come to find that you like their work, then I hope you will consider contacting your local cons and inviting them out so you can meet them. That's the one thing that you got to do. If once you hear the voice actors and their work, and if like them and you want to meet them and tell them how much that you appreciate their work, the best thing to do is to contact your local cons in a very peaceful and respectful manner, mind you, and let them know, hey, I want this particular voice actor or actress at your con. I want to see them at your con. I want to meet them at your con. because that's how voice actors and actresses get to cons. They need to be invited. So as you guys learn more of their work, um, as you guys learn more of their work, um, you guys can get them invited out to more and more cons. Um, Now with that, so if you guys want to, you can check the links below. Um, my Twitter handle will be down there if you want to contact me directly. Um, Again, you can always ask questions or make comments, not just on the video, but also on whatever Twitter post I do, or contact me directly. As you know, I'm also promoting a bunch of different anime dubbing companies there. Guys might want to check those out. I hope these dub company profiles I'll be doing over the next few days will be of some help too in terms of learning what works out there. Um, and also I'm still promoting the GoFundMe's. As always, guys, never feel like you have to give because nobody wants to see you go bankrupt. I'm sure they appreciate your help, whatever help you can give, Vic and all that. But don't feel like you have to go bankrupt doing it. If you have the ability to, and it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating. If you've already donated, please consider donating again. And if you're not able to donate, you can still help by sharing the link. Because maybe you never know. Maybe there's somebody in your circle of friends who might want to help out the cause. Doesn't hurt to ask, right? Um, let's see. And if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Um, and hit the notification bell. Um, I've been hearing from like Yellow Flash and Nick have talked a lot about this. YouTube, I don't know if it's the algorithms or somebody at YouTube, they're getting a little screwy on things. So just make sure that if you're already subscribed to just verify that you're subscribed. Make sure that you're subscribed, so you guys can get the notifications. Um, and with that, I shall bid you all adieu until tomorrow. And don't forget tomorrow. Aside from tomorrow, of course, I'll be talking about Sentai Filmware Seraphim Digital Sound on the mic episode. But also, I have a VA profile premiering tomorrow, featuring Yanni's Yard of Ocean Studio. So I hope you guys will come and check that out and come have a good conversation with me about that as we watch the premiere together. And if you can't make the premieres, guys, you can always watch the VA profiles as well on my Voices playlist. So until tomorrow, guys. See you then. Bye.